Counting down 3 days to go until the Iowa caucus, the first votes cast in the 2024 presidential election. But the weather threatening to complicate things there. Our political team is on the scene this morning. Jason Wheeler and Jason Whiteley braving the cold and bringing us up to speed.
They don't usually do this in these parts, but schools are closed here today. They are expecting blizzard conditions, and by the time we get to caucus day, they're expecting -7 for a high temperature, which would make this the coldest caucuses they've had yet.
So good morning from a snowy Iowa here. You know, Midwesterners, as Jason has mentioned, they're a hardy bunch, so they're used to snow and they're used to cold weather, but nothing really like this. And the question is how it impacts campaigns. We know it's already impacting Nikki Haley's campaign. She's canceled all of her appearances for today. Instead, she's holding telephone town halls. But the big news is Donald Trump. He's the front runner here. He was not here yesterday. Instead, he was in New York. His son was here, though, campaigning on his behalf.
He is expected here this weekend, though. And so the battle is for second place here in the Republican Party. And for a long time, it looked like that was Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. But in recent days, it looks like he has been losing some of that momentum. He tried to gain some of it back yesterday, appearing at 4 different events across the state, including in Ames. At one of those events, he was interrupted by 3 different protesters during that one event, and he's been trying to sharpen his attacks on the frontrunner, former President Trump, telling voters here that Trump is trying to gaslight them.
But Nikki Haley is right on DeSantis's tail here, and that's why people are watching to see if she can get ahead of him and maybe finish second on Monday night. That would really propel her going into New Hampshire. But yesterday, she was making a few stops across the state with her son and her daughter. The other thing that a lot of people are wondering, does Chris Christie now endorse Nikki Haley now that he has dropped out of the race? One thing we'll be watching for today and over the weekend.
And regardless of what Chris Christie does, what do his voters decide to do, and what kind of turnout do we see in these frigid conditions? A lot of coverage left to come from us in the days ahead, and some special episodes of Yolitics too. Make sure that you are subscribed.